once again trend upward.
Here to talk about that and a lot more, Pavan Agarwal is the founder of the CEO Angel AI, and Brittany Madni is the senior fellow at Fiscal Policy at the National Taxpayers Union. Great to have you both. Welcome. Pavan, with this Federal Reserve, it's expected to keep the interest rates at status quo here after its policy meeting today. Even as inflation cools, you've got the Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh. He's facing this complicated scenario. Higher energy prices, renewed tensions here in the Middle East. President Trump has been pushing the Fed to lower the rates and support economic growth. What do you expect the Fed to do today?
Yeah, we expect the Fed to not raise rates. And if they did raise rates, it would flatten the yield curve and be very bad for the banking sector. And also that it would put too much pressure on the housing market. And we think that in the long run, anyways, technology is going to solve the problem because the oil price is a short-term problem due to pipelines being built across Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which will bypass the Strait of Hormuz. So we hope for a quick end to this war. But even then, within the next 12, 18 months, 60, 70% of the oil will be moving in other ways outside of the Strait of Hormuz. And then also Venezuela is now under new management, and which is the largest oil reserves in the world. And as that starts getting back online, we're going to see oil prices start falling again. Yeah. So I think it would be foolish of the Fed to raise rates right now, considering that what has caused the rates to go up, what has caused inflation to go up, has nothing to do with the Fed's policy. It has to do with these geopolitical problems.
Okay, good point. And look, we understand the administration doesn't want this war to drag out. It's not going exactly how things were planned, but we'll see what happens next and also how that impacts us here at home. Brittany, Americans, though, we talk about inflation, recession fears, economic uncertainty. No doubt things are better during the Trump administration than Biden era. Of course, we had COVID during that time, and I bring up COVID because we've got Anthony Fauci on the Hill today. So I'm flashing back to that really tough time in American history. But what should Americans know about where the state of the economy really is right now, and maybe something we could look forward to in the next few months or years to come?
Well, one of the interesting things that Warsh has done as the new Federal Reserve Chairman is start implementing these 5 task forces to get at the heart of just that question. One of the task forces, of course, is trying to uncover the causes of inflation. What are the drivers of inflation? And I think that the task force is going to discover something Americans already know and already know well, and it's government overspending on things that are not their priorities. We're $39.7 trillion in debt right now, and that hurts, especially when we're seeing increasing deficit spending over time. And Americans are really suffering because of the inflation that was first put out under the Biden administration, of course. Now, the Trump administration has done a good job of rolling back a lot of that fraud, waste, and abuse through a lot of different executive measures, through the 119th Congress, but there is more to do. And I think that's the key part of this discussion. If the Fed is looking at ways to improve the situation, you can't leave out the first branch. You have to look at what is going on under Article 1. Are we spending too much money that we don't have? And does that need to be reset as well?
Pavan, Americans losing some faith here in the economy. You've got the Conference Board saying that its consumer confidence index is now falling this month from 90.8 to 92, or from 92.2 to now 90.8. In June, when the gas prices dipped below $4 a gallon. As of today, though, the price of regular gallon of gas, $4.09. How do we reverse this trend?
Well, I think we adopt policies like in Texas, where the gas is so much lower in states like Texas than in California. And that's how we can deliver more confidence back to the consumer. We also need to double down on bringing manufacturing back to America through visionary leadership by President Trump for AI technology and investing in America, because all of that reduces overall costs. Because don't forget, America is the largest oil producer of the world. And now we also have Venezuela straightened out. So I think it's just a short-term pain that we have to endure to overcome this problem with Iran. Because imagine if one of those drones that Iran sends over had a nuclear bomb on it, right? So there was very little choice for President Trump to do what he did in the Gulf. And he did it at the right time, right after Venezuela was straightened out. So yes, there is a short-term pain, but in the long run, it's going to all straighten out.
Pavan, I wanted to tap into your AI background. We saw recently that President Trump announced the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. It ensures that these big technology, artificial intelligence companies will fund their own power generation and grid infrastructure. Which I know a lot of Americans are concerned about.
Yeah,
Who's going to pay for all this electricity, right? What kind of impact could it have on local communities? What do you think about the president's plan? And will these AI groups really get on board with covering this cost?
Oh, I think it's very good for the AI industry, and it's good for American jobs. Because this is going to spark the building of new power plants and new energy within America itself. And remember, all that AI technology is being used to optimize manufacturing in America so that we don't have to buy stuff from China. So this is going full circle. Yes, there's a great deal of investment, and it's mostly private sector investment that's happening in America right now, which has been fueling our economy. And it's also going to result in the next 12, 24 months into much lower prices across the board, because why manufacture something in China, ship oil to China, manufacture there, and then ship it all the way back here when you can just do it at home if we have the technology?
Yeah, that's a good point. Something President Trump has been trying to tout here on with getting back more investment here in America. Thanks, Pavan. Brittany, we appreciate both coming on, shedding your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's welcome back in John Burnett and Tom Borelli. Guys, we're